The fuck?
That was... How is this getting good reviews? Honestly, that was... all the shitty movies I've seen for you over the past couple of years. Of all the shitty movies, this is in the top 10.
This one is?
This was fucking unbearable, dude.
It was bad. I don't think it'd be in my top 10, but it was bad. I don't think it's even... I can name a few movies that we've seen this year that I thought were harder to sit through than this. But I agree, it was bad.
For me, personally, this was... Last night was a rough night. Last night was at least... I could at least laugh at the movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't laugh at this. It was so bad that it wasn't
I laughed a couple of times.
Yeah, no. This was...
You know why?
I was fucking awful.
I was laughing a few times because I was crossing my fingers that the ending was going to be... They all die, and then it cuts to, like, Bugs Bunny sitting at his computer going, "Ain't I a stinker?"
I would have peed my pants.
Worth it.
That would have made the entire movie,
Yeah.
for that one joke, completely worth it. And if somebody makes that fan edit, I will watch it again.
Yeah.
For that payoff, even knowing it's coming.
Yeah.
But this movie was fucking unbearable.
Uh-huh.
There was nothing redeeming about it.
No, it's given me my idea for midnight screenings, the movie. It's all just this angle. Go Sarah in the back.
No, it just...
Kill yourself.
Even...
This is a wildly uninteresting movie, man.
No, because even the trailers that we've been laughing at for months, like, it's like, well, at least the movie has a gimmick.
It does.
It is the most uninteresting, boring-ass, poorly done gimmick that is the worst possible gimmick for a movie.
Uh-huh. It's up there with, like, The Fourth Kind, where it was like reenactments opposite supposed real footage and shit like that.
Yeah, no, it's...
I can see why dude who made it would think it was a good idea. I can.
I can see why somebody thought it was a good idea.
I totally can.
Good idea. I can't, for the life of me, understand how this is getting like a 70+% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
I mean, I guess if you like this gimmick and it totally works for you.
But even if the gimmick works for you, the rest of the movie's awful.
No, it is. I agree. Like, the gimmick is... It's just not interesting to sit through because, I mean, okay, in the trailer, this movie is all in real time. It is all just looking at her computer screen. And... Okay, so yeah, there is the Skype conversation, but a lot of it is also, like, direct messaging on Facebook.
There's a lot of text and typing. And magically, even though Skype's running in the background, every time this fucking silly-ass broad pulls up Facebook to type, the volume of Skype goes way
man,
down.
I was noticing that too, but then it would come back when it was something that we had to hear.
Yeah.
You know?
It was really, like... It was one of those things that's like... Part of my brain understands why they made that choice, but the other part of my brain is like, if you're making a movie in real time, and you bother to actually pay for the rights to use YouTube, Facebook, Skype, fucking Spotify, and I think at some point iTunes.
Yeah.
If you're paying for the rights to use those things and not make up fake programs, if you're going for realism, be realistic. And,
I mean, and to a point when it does get a little bit realistic, it's, again, insufferable to sit through because, okay... Alright, yeah, the typing to each other when it's direct messages, when it's Facebook messages.
Something, deleting it,
typing it again, and pondering whether or not to hit send. it's so boring to watch. It's so boring to sit through. And even when they're watching video and it has to pause to buffer, you just want to slap the fucking screen. Like, goddamn, the projector's connection has gone out.
Well, and that's the thing, because when they're doing this typing shit, they pull up the full page window of the typing that they're doing. This person has obviously never, like, organized their windows so they can multitask.
Uh-huh.
Like, everybody does
but
that,
they had to get the little plug for Teen Wolf in there, though.
Oh, yeah.
With the one, you can see one of the web pages that's up is for MTV's Teen Wolf.
Oh, yeah, and the kid smoking a blue for no reason. The movie was insufferable. The obvious concept that's very apparent in the trailers is girl gets shit-faced drunk, passes out, shits her pants, somebody posts a video of it, then a bunch of people bully her online, and she kills herself.
And then her friend, a year later, her friends get haunted by Troll Ghost.
Yeah.
And it's her. It's her ghost doing this shit, and she
like 6 of the most irrational, stupid human beings.
That's a huge problem I have with this movie. This movie is total douchebaggery. Every single one of them. There's not a redeeming character. There's not a redeeming character here at all. There's not a single character in this that you're like, oh, I hope that person doesn't die. There's nothing like that. It's all just total douchebags being complete douchebags to each other, regardless of the situation that they're in.
No,
they're just assholes.
That's the thing. There comes a point where 2 characters have already died. They have watched 2 of their friends, using that term very loosely,
in the loosest of sense.
They've watched 2 of their friends kill themselves through obvious, some kind of supernatural circumstance. Like, you know, one, you could go, well, that's fucked up and creepy. But they don't get offline. Mm-hmm. They just stay online.
Well, I mean, don't they say in the movie if they leave, one of them's gonna die again or something like that? Like, they do stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, the whole time they're being threatened that they're gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
I get out of the house, I make a fucking break for it.
No, in this they use chat roulette to get a hold of the cops.
Yeah.
They use cheese code, help me, we're being stalked, someone call the cops. And like people are like, a couple pot smoke, whatever, click. One guy's got his dick hanging out.
Yeah. But
the ghost makes them play Never Have I Ever.
Yes. And it just devolves into 5 people screaming at each other for the terrible things they've done to each other, knowing full well whoever loses this game is apparently going to die.
Yeah.
They've watched 2 people already die. But
horrifically, too.
But the bigger concern to one of the characters is that his buddy sold him out to the cops for selling weed. That is not the issue at hand, motherfucker. The issue at hand is one of you is going to die. The fact that your buddy sold you out for a little bit of pot to the cops, and obviously use the phrase, I almost had a record. Mm-hmm. You don't, asshole. It obviously worked out fine for you.
I gotta admit, some of that I was kind of chuckling at. Like, I don't think it was really supposed to be funny at all.
I just found it exasperating and horribly annoying.
The Never Have I Ever part? Oh, when it was...
No, the whole movie.
Oh, well, yes, but like, the Never Have I Ever part where, it's like, never have I ever sold my buddy out for weed. And it devolves into, what the fuck, bro? Oh, piece of shit, motherfucker. And then one of them's like, never have I ever spread a rumor about Blair being, having an eating disorder. It was me. Bitch! You bitch! You fucking bitch! You fucking bitch, that wasn't even true! I was just dieting, you bitch!
Yeah. Just...
They're all holding their hands up because they have to put their fingers down with Never Have I Ever. And like they explain to you what Never Have I Ever is because there's one girl who doesn't know what it is.
For a movie that's supposed to have a all new kind of gimmick, this was one of the most uninteresting, unoriginal pieces of fucking tripe I've ever seen. I hated every minute of being in the theater for this piece of shit.
Unoriginal, I don't know. I've never seen a Skype horror movie before.
But everything that happens in it is nothing new.
Yeah. Oh God, the ending.
And basically, what it is, it's a found footage movie.
Yeah.
That takes place in 6 little squares.
Yeah.
Like, that's not interesting.
No.
And I don't
not.
think that's original either. It's an old concept in a new format, and the format's fucking awful.
Oh, sure. It's like when you see something that's a found footage movie and it's a total ripoff of something else, but like, oh, this time it's found footage.
Yeah.
You know? And in this, I was in the first like 20 minutes when it kept going back. Because in the first, like, 20 minutes of the movie, they log off Skype quite a few times, and whenever they did, it was so goddamn frustrating, because you kept having to sit there for so long, watching pretty much without sound.
A phone dialing.
Or, like, the Facebook conversations that they're having, and this is going on so long.
There's so much typing in this movie. It just it's basically watching a text message conversation happen on a big screen. And it's like, you really expect people to pay money for this shit?
I was actually given the gimmick and everything.
If I want to watch an asinine conversation happen via text, I will text my 12-year-old nephew and be like, hey man, send me screen caps of all your conversations.
He'll write back, can't, I'm seeing Unfriended.
Yeah. He has better taste than that.
I was given the gimmick of the movie, and given that it isn't getting that bad of reviews, I was actually kind of surprised how dead our audience was.
Well, and that's the thing, like, they've been promoting the fuck out of this movie.
Oh, totally.
Like, this movie, we've gotten this trailer.
Even when you watch something on YouTube, like, 9 times out of 10, it's an ad for this movie in front of the videos.
Yeah. YouTube must be a sponsor of some kind for this shit. Like, and what is even more disgusting about this shit is they were obviously trying to shoehorn this anti-bullying message into the fucking thing. And it was just fucking disgusting.
Yeah, like, and then it gets to the ending, which makes no sense.
None whatsoever.
It makes 0 sense whatsoever, other than they just wanted to throw in, like,
one final jump
that you've seen in so many fucking movies, where the ghost just jumps right out at the camera, which was so out of place with the rest of the movie, and it also didn't make any fucking sense, because by the end of it...
And also the ghost, in the 2 seconds that it showed the ghost, didn't look like the character the ghost was supposed to be.
The girl?
Yeah.
It looked like, I mean, it was in shadows, and it was so fast, like, I saw some long hair there. Was it kind of zombie-like in a way?
Like sharp teeth or something.
Okay. If you want to see something way better than this, watch, like, when they were promoting Last Exorcism 2, and on Chat Roulette, they had some girl on there, and, I mean, it was... You would be going through Chat Roulette, and then you'd see this girl sitting there, and she's, like, mimicking like she's gonna take off her clothes, but then her eyes roll back in her head and looks possessed and jumps out at the camera. So there's videos on YouTube of reaction shots where, like, guys are sitting there like, what the fuck, bro? Then it still say, like, Last Exorcism 2 coming soon.
Well, yeah.
And so, okay, by the end you find out, like, who posted the video, and also who shot the video. And when there's the one girl left alive at the end, the video is released where it shows the very tail end of it. And it shows that this main girl in the movie is the one who shot the video of the girl passed out and, like, she shit herself and all that. And, I mean, and then, so it's showing, like, people are commenting saying, you're the one who killed her, you bitch, I hope you die, you should kill yourself now, you fucking whore, you fucking bitch. And I'm kind of like, one, I don't know how big of a mystery this is, because it had to have been fucking one of them that shot the goddamn thing. Is this really a shock to anyone commenting on here? But also, the ghost types to the main girl in the movie and says, now you have to live with this. So the movie should have ended right there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. The laptop goes down, and that's when you see the ghost at the end just jump at the girl, I'm guessing killing her. So none of that makes any fucking sense, other than that had to have been like, no, you need to throw in one jump scare at the end of it.
Yeah.
That had to have been like some kind of studio note or something like that, because that completely contradicts what happened 10 seconds before that final jump at the camera.
Just everything about this movie was ridiculous. Like, the soundtrack for the movie is the ghost playing songs on Spotify and fucking iTunes on this girl's computer.
Yeah.
Like, picking appropriate songs. And just the poor editing, poor concepting. It's like, okay, this person is supposed to be typing, but at the same time, they have to have their hand up, and if they take their hand down, they die. So this person is typing perfectly well with one hand.
I only saw one misspelling in the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she misspells the word had at one point.
Yeah. It's
Good on her, man.
Oh, yeah. Those typing classes must have kept... It's just...
If I was... If I'm going to say anything nice...
But there was tons of errors like that, too, where it's like, someone's supposed to be on the phone, someone's supposed to be typing, but you can see them in the corner not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is just shitty filmmaking.
If you could call it filmmaking.
No, it's not filmmaking. It's really not. Like, we easily could have made that entire movie in a weekend.
Oh, I really want to know what the budget on this movie was.
It could not have been more than... For some of the, I guess, makeup effects for the deaths, this movie should not have cost more than $10,000.
At the fucking most.
At the most.
At the goddamn most.
Now, to actually make it, now to get the rights to use some of that shit, then you're talking some money. But but to actually film this movie, less than $10,000. Less.
So it might make instant fucking profit just with the 4 people who are in the audience.
Yeah.
Me, you, and a couple of teenagers who were loving it. Like, every time...
Oh my god.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. Any fucking time, like, the screen went out and shit like that, just in the back of the theater. Oh my god. Dropped call. Scary. If I was to say anything nice, honestly, I thought the acting was fine.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
I really didn't have a problem with the acting in the movie.
Douchey McDago was overacting to an extreme that the Adam kid, he was awful.
Which one was he?
The one who shot himself.
The drunk guy?
Yeah. I hate it.
I actually didn't mind his performance.
The only one that I thought was even a halfway decent actor, I think, was probably the kid who was like the boyfriend.
He was fine.
He was fine, but I honestly thought everyone else was. To me, they're not showing a range of emotion or any skill or anything like it. I don't think it was good acting at all.
I bought it, especially towards the end where the girl's showing some tears and is crying her eyes out, and I thought they did fine. From what I understand, this was mostly an ad-libbed movie, which you can kind of tell. I mean, I don't know what the script would look like for this thing, but my problem is their characters were just total douchebags, but I bought them as douchebags. Honestly,
I honestly felt that there was absolutely nothing redeemable about this movie. And this might be me being overly negative, but to me this was
it's not a good movie.
I hated every second of this.
It's not the hardest movie that I sat. I mean, don't get me wrong.
No, it wasn't the hardest thing to sit through.
No, I mean this year. I had a harder time sitting through, like, Hot Tub 2 and Unfinished Business and Old Fashioned.
You know what? Like, with Hot Tub 2, as bad as that movie was, at least it was distracting enough that I wasn't just sitting there hating it. like, I was still, like, I wasn't enjoying it, but, like, every once in a while something would happen that was, like, at least an interesting thing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was good or not, something was happening. In this movie, nothing really happens.
No, I agree. I totally
Like-
agree. Maybe for me, it's just easier for me to sit through a bad horror movie than it is for a bad comedy.
And for me, I think it might be much easier to sit through a bad comedy than
Oh,
a bad
okay.
anything else.
Mhm.
Because with a bad comedy, like, this might sound shitty. Like, I know that a great comedy is one of the hardest things to make.
Mm-hmm.
And there aren't that many great comedies, and I think that's because of that. But I think bad comedies are so run-of-the-mill that I can just, for the most part, just phase out and just, like, go, and then afterwards go, yeah, whatever.
I think my thing is more like you can kind of laugh at a bad horror movie.
I couldn't laugh at
I'm
this.
not necessarily speaking towards this movie,
That-
but it's impossible for me to laugh
Oh,
at
a bad
comedy.
yeah.
Like, but like, you know, a certain bad horror movie, bad action movie, or something like that. Like, you can probably find some laughs in.
Yeah.
I guarantee we'll probably have some fucking laughs at that trailer we got for the Shyamalan movie.
Oh, yeah. Because, well, knowing Shyamalan, it's gonna be terrible, but wouldn't it be great if it was amazing?
Oh, I hope for going into a Shyamalan movie, I hope two things. One, okay, sure, I hope he has another great one in him.
Yeah.
And two, if it's not, I hope it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And this trailer, what the fuck? Like, you and I were sitting in there like, what was that?
Well, like, the whole trailer, I'm just like, what's going... what?
Yeah, I didn't even know he had a new movie coming out.
I didn't know they still allowed him to make movies. After Earth, like, he should be, like, blacklisted.
And this, they don't do like in the trailer for After Earth where they were
It's like-
really hiding that it was Shyamalan.
This is M. Night Shyamalan, director of The Sixth Sense.
Unbreakable,
Well-
Signs, and nothing else.
No, they put The Village.
Oh, did
up.
they put The Village in there? Well, I guess if you're going to compare The Village to some of his other ones.
Yeah. Now, I know I am in the very few minority of people that I actually like Lady in the Water.
Oh, yeah.
I completely understand why almost everyone hates it, but I actually kind of like that
Yeah.
movie.
It has its fans.
Yeah, like, but
Benzai once kept me up until 4 a.m. telling all the reasons why he thought it was the best movie of the decade.
well, that's certainly not true. No, wasn't even one of the best movies of that year. But I kind of like it, you know. And it's
Sure.
like, it's like, oh yeah, I kind of enjoyed that movie. Not for any particular reason, not because it was a good movie, because I'm fairly certain that it wasn't a good movie. I just kind of liked it.
Oh, I hear you.
But, yeah,
I got movies I
Shyamalan-
can say that about.
Like, oh man,
This movie, like...
I'm curious.
Yeah, because it looks like it's found footage, but some of the shots in it don't make a lot of sense. But for the most part, it looks like found footage for no reason. It looks like he kind of made a whole movie around, like, are you eyeing my lemon drink from The Happening? Because it's like, the movie's called The Visit, and it's about these two kids who are visiting their grandparents for the weekend, and I guess they're evil.
Or crazy. Or,
Yeah.
Or possessed, or who knows what.
Yeah, so the crazy grandma is like making cookies and looks at the girl and stares at her for like a solid few seconds. And is just like, would you mind getting in the oven and checking something for me? And that's the last part of the trailer. That's when you and I were just, what the fuck? And then I'm like, I am so seeing that.
Yeah.
That and the Jason Bateman movie. I can't wait.
The Gift.
I actually think The Gift might be pretty good.
It looks good, and you know what? Quite honestly, like, besides some of the really bad comedies, every time Jason Bateman decides to go slightly dark, it's usually pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Totally, man. And written and directed by Joel Edgerton.
Yes.
I'm curious about that.
Yeah, see how he does as a writer-director.
90s psycho stalker thriller throwback.
Yeah.
Right on. Like, I didn't know about that movie until last night when you guys were talking about it in your video. So I'm like, if we got this trailer and I didn't know about it, I kind of would have been like you guys, because the second, you see Jason Bateman pop
Like,
up.
oh, it's a comedy.
Yeah, and then, no. Shit gets real in this Jason Bateman movie. Is there any way, shape, or form that you would recommend Unfriended?
No.
Yeah.
I can't even think of... Like, it's definitely not worth paying money to see in a theater, but I can't think of any situation, even with a group of friends drunk, trying to make this a drinking game or anything. This movie it's pretty
You probably could turn this into a drinking game.
Possibly. But I don't think it would be an entertaining
Every time
one.
the movie buffers.
Oh, God. 6 affluent white children with worse internet connections than I have on my fucking phone.
So you're giving, I think Ryan and I came up with the term for what is zero stars, and it was unfinished business.
Unfinished business.
You giving this unfinished business?
Yeah. Yes. To make it a quip, Unfriended, try unwatchable.
Or our theater, unattended.
Yes.
And, I don't know if I could give it unfinished business, only because I would so watch this with Brian. I would. I totally would. In the same way that he fucking made me watch ATM. I would rather watch this than ATM.
I can understand your reasoning for that, but I don't think I could sit through it again. The only way I'd sit through it again is if at the end, Bugs Bunny...
Ain't I a stinker?
just covered in blood.
Oh my god! That's a huge twist, too, because it's not a Warner Brothers movie.
No,
it's Universal.
It's Universal. It's not animated.
I was instantly annoyed in the first 2 seconds when it's showing the Universal's logo and it's flickering out. I'm like, oh, this is going to feel so long. And it did.
It did.
And it's only 80 minutes.
Yeah.
That's why they gave us a half hour's worth of trailers.
Ugh.
Well, I'm going to be gone next week. I think the only thing that I saw listed for here next week was Age of Adeline, but I know Little Boy is coming out too.
We can always see Little Boy when he comes back.
Oh, yeah. But then after that, Avengers.
Yes.
A couple days
2
after I get
weeks.
back.
Yeah, last night I think the bad movie took its toll on my sense of timing, and I was saying 1 week till Avengers, but it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks till Avengers. And then good movie season kind of kicks in. There's a lot to look forward to this summer, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Now that we got all this shit out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go home and post this and try to sleep for a couple hours and catch a train.
Yep. I'm just gonna go home.
Right on, man. Sounds like a plan. See ya.